Hi students, let's start new chapter Government Budget and the Economy. Synopsis, Introduction, Meaning of Government Budget, Objective of Government Budget, Components of Budget, Budget Receipts, Revenue Receipts, Capital Receipts, Budget Expenditure, Measures of Government Deficit. Let's start with Government Budget. Government Budget is a statement of the estimates of the government, receipts and government expenditure during the period of the financial year. So government budget is an annual statement showing item-wise estimates of receipts and expenditure during a fiscal year. Yes, the receipts and expenditure which shown in the budget are not the actual figures but the estimated values for the coming fiscal year. The fiscal year is taken from 1st April to 31st March. Yes, so budget is prepared by the government at all levels, that is central government, state government and local government, which prepare its respective annual budget. Yes, however, we will restrict our studies to budget of central government, that is known as union budget. Estimated expenditure and receipts are planned as per the objective of the government. In India, budget is presented in the parliament on such a day as a president may direct. It is required to be approved by the parliament before it can be implemented. Balanced budget, estimated receipts which is equals to estimated expenditure, will be calling it as a balanced budget. Objective of government budget, reallocation of resources, reducing inequalities in income and wealth, economic stability, management of public enterprises, economic growth, reducing regional disparities. Let's start with the first one, the first objective, reallocation of resources. Through the budgetary policy, government aim to reallocate the resources in accordance with the economic, that is profit maximization, and social, that is public welfare priorities of the country. So government can influence allocation of resources through tax concession or a subsidy directly producing goods and services. Let's move to the second one, reducing inequalities in income and wealth. Economic inequality is an inherent part of every economic system. So the government aim to reduce such inequalities of income and wealth through its budgetary policy. Yes, so the government aim to influence the distribution of income by imposing tax on rich and spending more on welfare of the poor. So it will reduce income of the rich and rises standard of living of the poor. Thus reducing inequality is a distribution of income. Let's move on to the third one, economic stability. Economic stability means absence of large scale fluctuation in prices. Such fluctuations creates uncertainties in the economy. Government can exercise control over this fluctuation through taxes and expenditure. Let's move on to the fourth one, management of public enterprises. These are large number of public sector industries. Yes, especially natural monopolies which are established and managed for social welfare of the public. So budget is prepared with the objective of making various provisions for managing such enterprises and providing them financial help. Fifth one, economic growth. Economic growth implies a sustainable increase in the real GDP of an economy. That is, an increase in the volume of goods and services produced in an economy. So, budget can be an effective tool to ensure the economic growth in a country. The last one, reducing regional disparities. The government budget aims to reduce regional disparities through its taxation and expenditure policy for encouraging setting up of production units in economically backward regions. So, reallocation of resources, reducing inequalities in income and wealth, economic stability, management of public enterprises, economic growth, reducing regional disparities. These are the objectives of government budget. Structure of government budget, budget receipts, budget expenditure. Under budget receipts, there are revenue receipts and capital receipts. Under budget expenditure, revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Under revenue receipts, tax receipts, non-tax receipts. Under capital receipts, recovery of loans, borrowing and liabilities, other receipts. Yes, and under budget expenditure, planned expenditure and non-planned expenditure. The structure of government budget. Budget receipts. Budget receipts refers to estimated money receipts of the government from all sources during the fiscal year. So budget receipts classified as revenue receipts and capital receipts. So what is meant by budget receipts, which refers to the estimated money receipts of the government from all the sources during the fiscal year. Yes, so budget receipts may be further classified as revenue receipts and capital receipts. The first one, revenue receipts. Revenue receipts refers to those receipts which neither create any liability nor cause any reduction in the assets of the government. Yes, revenue receipts are those receipts of the government which neither create a liability for the government nor lead to reduction assets of the government. We'll be calling it as a revenue receipts. So they are regular and recurring in nature and government receives them in its normal course of activities. Example, tax receipts. Yes, revenue receipts. Receipts that do not cause liability to the government. Receipts that does not lead to reduction in assets of the government. Yes, we'll be calling it as a revenue receipts. Sources of revenue receipts. Yes, revenue receipts of the government are generally classified under two heads. One, tax revenue. Second one, non-tax revenue. First of all, what is meant by tax revenue? Tax revenue refers to some total of receipts from taxes and other duties which is imposed by the government. We'll be calling it as a tax revenue. A tax is a compulsory payment made by people and the companies to the government. Yes, without reference to any direct benefit in return. It means there are two aspects of taxes. Yes, let's see. Direct tax and indirect taxes. Yes, direct tax. A direct tax is really paid by the person on whom it is legally imposed. The burden of direct tax cannot be shifted to other person. Direct tax are generally progressive in nature. An example of direct tax are income tax, corporate tax, interest tax, wealth tax, death duty, capital gains tax, etc. So these are the example of direct tax. Yes, they are imposed on individual and companies. The liability to pay the taxes, that is the impact, the actual burden of the taxes, yes, lie on the same person. Yes, and then they directly affect the income level and purchasing power of the people, which helps to change the level of aggregate demand in the economy. Indirect tax. An indirect tax is imposed on one person but paid partly or wholly by another. The burden of indirect tax can be shifted to the other. Indirect tax are generally regressive in nature. Example of indirect taxes: GST, custom duty, sales tax, yes, and excise tax. Let's move on to the other one, non-tax revenue. Okay, under non-tax revenue, which are the things will come under in it? Non-tax revenue, which refers to receipts of the government from all the sources other than those of tax receipts. So the main source of non-tax revenues are interest, profit and dividends, fees, license fees, fines and penalties, gift and grants, special assessments. So these are the main sources of non-tax revenue. So far we have discussed about meaning of government budget. Yes, what are the objective of government budget? Yes, and we have discussed about what is mean by budget receipts. Under budget receipts, then what is mean by revenue receipts. Under revenue receipts, we have discussed about tax revenue and non-tax revenue. Thank you, students.